Hello, I'm BX Toycat, and welcome back to the video. Today I'm here in my 2012 Let's Play world. It's a world which I literally haven't touched in over 7 years, and I'm here because a lot of people are getting into Minecraft for the first time, or more realistically, a lot of people are getting back into Minecraft after many years away, and the sort of tips that we cover on the channel these days are mostly things that assume you know a lot about Minecraft, but what if that's not the case? What if you want to know all the basic tips that people have built up over these years, and you want to know some of Minecraft's most old school tips? Well, that's what today's video is for, that's why I'm making it. I wanted to help people out and give you a bit of nostalgia with some advice from the past, advice that was valid and present all the way back in 2012, but that a lot of people still might not know in 2019. That's what we're covering in today's video. I hope you all do enjoy it. You can like the video but let's dive straight into it with the very first tip, and this is one of the most basic things, one of the first things you hear, but just in case you don't know it, pro tip: if you ever need to get up, stack yourself up real fast, either to escape from another player or to escape from a monster of some form, all you have to do is do something called nerd polling. Face your camera all the way down and then stack up using your jump button and your place button over and over again. Spam both buttons as fast as you can, and what's going to happen is something like this. You're going to be able to climb very quickly, and pro tip, just like that, you can get out of the way super fast. I know this sounds super basic, but the reason I'm mentioning it is because it leads into the second tip here, which is that if you have a huge pile of sand or gravel, don't actually, what a lot of people do is they use a shovel and slowly mine the whole thing down, and it's very satisfying to do that, and also apparently leaves some sand in the sky sometimes. It's very satisfying to do that, don't get me wrong, but the pro tip is to use a torch, because if you use a torch, you can destroy the entire stack by just doing it like that. It falls on the torch or the half slab or anything else like that. Even a pressure plate would work, and then you can get yourself the 30 sand or whatever else all in one instant. Very handy, I'm sure we all agree. So yeah, this is my 2012 Let's Play world. It was because I had an experiment where I was like, what if I recorded literally every moment of a Minecraft world from start, like to, I guess, to finish or whatever in some way. But the idea was just like, rather than having a Minecraft Let's Play where every other minute is off camera, what if I put it all on the video? And the answer to that was a lot of people don't necessarily enjoy that. However, there are a few basic tips here that you can still kind of learn, including ones that I know a lot of people, even if you know Minecraft, it's something that's very easy to forget, so I figured I would help you out here. If you want to make a cobblestone generator, all you need is two things: water and lava. A lot of people give you ice, but ice melts into water as long as you have a block below it. So have some water that flows deliberately into a hole. The reason that you got to flow it into a hole is because this means that it can't flow left, right, or center. Then have one block of a gap, and then on the other side have some lava that'll look something like that. So to remove the blocks and show you everything around here, you can see there's some lava, here's the water. Because the water goes next to the lava but will never touch it, if it touches it, it creates obsidian, but if it never touches it, then the block in between turns into cobblestone. This can make a cobblestone generator, which is really handy, as I'm sure you all know, but because this world was created, and the piston update came out a little bit afterwards, you can also use pistons in your cobblestone generator to do something a little bit like this. Just like that, you can move the cobblestone up and then move it into somewhere else, and you can basically create infinite cobblestone by just moving it with pistons. You don't even have to mine it yourself and waste a pickaxe. If you don't want to, you can move it over there. This also makes it really easy to guarantee you get every block, because you can mine all the way across this, and then you can use your auto piston cobblestone generator again and again. As long as you have a piston block below your cobblestone, you can keep moving it each time, because pro tip, pistons cannot burn. Also, another useful pro tip, again, redstone's like a whole separate category, but just one pro tip that everyone needs to know, just in case you ever want to automate any redstone design rather than pressing a lever over and over again yourself, because who wants to do that? There is a simple, mechanism just called a clock or a repeater or whatever else. Use two repeaters, one facing one way, one facing the other way, so you make a circuit of redstone, so it goes round and round and round and round, and then you want to activate it for a very short second, so something like this, and what you can end up doing is you'll end up leading the circle around and around and around again, which means, as you can see right here, the pistons keep on activating, and eventually you're going to stack up a lot of cobblestone just like this. Now you know you can activate cobblestone on an infinite loop using a redstone timer like this. Things get a bit weird when you close and restart your world, but now you know another very basic pro tip that can help a lot of people out. Another pro tip that can do the opposite of helping people out, because sometimes you want to be a helpful person, sometimes you want to be a benefit to the community, sometimes you just want to, make other people feel bad, to trap them and to trick them, and that's where this comes in really handy. The most basic trap you can make in Minecraft just requires 4 pistons and a pressure plate, and admittedly a block 2 blocks above that, because all you have to do is have a pressure plate, and you can even hide the pistons below the ground and use sticky pistons with a block above them, but all you have to do is have a pressure plate, and then because of that pressure plate activating all the pistons, as you can see, there's no way for me to get out of here. I can't unactivate the pressure plate because I'm trapped in by the pistons and the block above my head. This works really handily if you want to trap, say, skeletons or creeper for various sorts of reasons, but also you can use it to trap other players, or you can use it to trap yourself if you want to ever keep yourself yourself on your toes, like, hey, you want to make sure that you're always, paying attention, this is a great way to do that, or you get trapped in a hole. So yeah, pro tip, here is another little sneaky thing you can do all the time. Also, since we're in my 2012 world, a lot of people wonder where the IBX Toy Cat as Yes thing came from. The very first sign I made in Minecraft was this one right here. Again, I was just like, oh, I've got to put something about my house, above my house. I guess I'll put IBX Toy Cat there, and then I guess I'll put that I'm Yes, and then I did the foreign exclamation marks where I did a big gap and then exclamation marks, 2 of them. Always got to seem confused and like you don't necessarily have a great grasp on the language. That's what you've got to do with your IBX Toy Cat as Yes signs if you want to be authentic to the 2012 original. By the way, this is my stair house. I don't know why I made stairs or why the stairs aren't even on both sides. It's my house, okay? Live with it. It's how I designed things back in 2012, and it's okay to do things however you like, but if you want to do things in a fun way, you can actually cover up your doorways using paintings, because doorways count as a block for the purpose of paintings, as you can see right here, which means that you can actually walk through half a block of painting, and on the other side it looks like this. You can use this to your advantage, however, because let's say you cover up a doorway entirely of paintings, it can be hard to know what the way out of this room is. Like, even though we just walked in here, how do I get out of this? Do I go over here? Do I go over there? If you know what you're doing, of course, you can be like, okay, it's probably this block, right? Oh, there it is, in fact. But a lot of people can be very confused by having secret doorways behind paintings, so if you want to confuse friends or make an adventure map with a small puzzle, or honestly just have like a secret chest or something behind a place, just have lots of paintings, and behind one of them, you can place, say, a chest, because again, you just have a doorway, then behind the doorway, have a chest, or a furnace, or whatever else you want to have. By the way, these chests are super old. It's weird to see things like clocks in here. Speaking of clocks, by the way, clocks were invented because we needed to work out what precise time of day it was sometimes, apparently. Honestly, let's be honest, even in 2019, there's no use for clocks, but it is worth mentioning that if you are thinking about a clock because you're like, telling the time of day is really important to me, then just know this. Looking at the sun's location will give you a really good idea as to what time of day it actually is. The sun on this world seems to be super slowed down. You can see it moves very slowly, but in a world you've just started, you can tell, using the sun, 2 things. One, you can tell what time of day it is, how long you have until night or until day comes back around, and second of all, you can tell with almost certainty exactly what north, east, south, and west are, because the sun, the stars, the moon, everything like that always falls to the west. It's like the real world, like I guess that was pretty effectively designed. The west is always where the sun is, and using north, east, south, west, we can tell that is north, we can tell that is south, we can tell that is east, and that way, as long as you know, that your house is, say, east of here, or that your house is to the very south of the world, you can always use the sun to work out which direction you're going to face. But even when the sun goes down, which it will eventually do, you can use the sky to do that. And just in case like west isn't a great direction for you, all you have to do is break any block in Minecraft and you'll immediately be able to tell which direction north is. That might sound like heresy, like, wait, break any block to find out what direction north is, but no, think about it. The pattern when you break a block is the same on all directions at the same time. As you can see, I'm breaking this cobblestone from 2 sides, and it's got the same pattern on both sides, which might sound like, so it's the same on all sides, that can't work out north. Of course, from the sides, you won't ever be able to work out what north is, because it's the same on all sides, but because a cube is 6 sides, fun fact, here's one of the basic Minecraft tips. Did you know a cube is 6 sides? But that means on the top, the block basing pattern will always break slowly towards the north. You're seeing it kind of breaks in a pattern looking something like this. The south and the east corner of the block always break latest, whereas north and west go first, so you can work out where north is based on which way the pattern goes fastest. Again, that sounds complex, but you can see it does work, because right here you can see how it clearly spreads to the northwest of this, but when you're doing it on the top of the block, there's only one way north could be, and it's that way right there. So yeah, you can use 2 things to work out north. You can also use minecart tracks, a bunch of other different things, but let's just say that the sun and breaking blocks are the 2 easiest things to do, so those are the things you're going to want to know. So next up, we have a tip I'll admit I didn't use back in 2012. Where did that block I just threw went? But this is a tip I'll admit I didn't use all the way back then. But, if you have a lot of oak logs and you find it very easy to get wood, but not so easy to get, like coal, for instance, and you really want to get a lot of coal. Say you're making a giant, glass building in the middle of nowhere, and you need a lot of glass, which means you need to do a lot of smelting, you need a lot of coal, or realistically, you could use a bucket of lava eventually, but let's say you want to get coal real fast for your first night, or something like that. All you have to do is smelt using coal and charcoal, your oak logs and oak log logs turn into charcoal. Despite this being one of the first achievements in Minecraft, a lot of people are shocked when they first remember this because yes, you can make torches, you can smelt, you can do anything with charcoal that you can do with coal, with one exception, and that is that coal makes for coal blocks. That's again not a 2012 thing, but it's a thing since then, meaning that ideally coal is like the limited resource that eventually turns into coal blocks, which might be useful in some way, whereas charcoal is much better used for smelting. It's a renewable but very slightly less useful version of coal, which is why you might want to switch this out for that, for example, when you're making your charcoal, because charcoal can be used to smelt charcoal. Isn't that wonderful? I think it is personally, and maybe you agree. Another thing I think is wonderful is water physics. So this was designed to be a chicken farm, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know where the chickens have gone, but this was designed to be a chicken farm, and the idea was like, okay, so you have their eggs, go into here, then the eggs go over to there and it all flows into one spot. This is a way of getting all the water into one place, but something a lot of people ended up liking about this, so I figured I would share it right here, is not the fact that this is an efficient way to take a huge area of water and condense it into one spot, because pro tip, anything you drop anywhere in this place will all end up in one spot. But that's, not actually the best use for a lot of people, because this is cool and fun, etc. But it actually is really cool because a lot of people like that you can have floating water. So yeah, even post-updated Quadsic, where Minecraft tried to fix their water physics, something you can still do that you used to be able to do back in 2012 is by using signs or water or ladders or anything like that, you can stop water from flowing into blocks, meaning you can have water on the ground or a half slab on the ground or something like that on the ground. You can have it so you can jump into water and you can make a water elevator or water, anything else like that. It's really fun. A lot of people like the fact that like I'm not in water, I can jump into water and through it above it onto something else. It's a really effective way to jump through things and a lot of people like it, like I said. Next up, I'm going to take you to this old school gravel biome, which I'm going to be honest, I'm glad they didn't renew this eventually. There used to be a biome which was just gravel. I think it was meant to be a gravel beach, but this is just gravel everywhere. Anyway, so let's use this biome as an example to give you a pro tip with torches. A lot of people think that there has to be torches everywhere for mobs not to spawn. Like, oh no, if we don't have torches up there, when nighttime comes, mobs will spawn. And obviously you don't want mobs to spawn anywhere near your house. So people just cover areas in torches, something like this. And it's ugly, it's annoying, and it's not very efficient. Everyone loves efficiency. I mean, it's my favorite enchantment right after loyalty, am I right? But jokes aside, you want to know how to be most efficient with torches. So what you need to know is that mobs will spawn when the lightness level gets below 7. And when the daylight is up, everywhere is level 14, as long as it's hit by the sun, that is. Like, obviously down here in a cave, if I put something above me, the light level isn't 14. Down there, it's less than 14. But when you place a torch, it means even at nighttime, there's a light layer of 14. Meaning if the light layer needs to go below 7, that means you can get anywhere within 7 blocks of a torch and still have a light level that's above 7. Also keep in mind, mobs can only spawn on the ground, so anything on the ground needs to be within at least 7 blocks of a torch. So therefore you can logically use that and know that Minecraft works in a grid pattern to know the most efficient way to place torches is in a grid-based pattern going diagonally instead. So by placing torches diagonally every 6 blocks like this, so to explain that, you go torch, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, torch, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, torch. Do that in every direction, and what that means is every level, every place will have a light level of 8 or above, because, as I can show you right here, this is light level 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8. This is the lowest you can get, and it's the furthest you can get from torches, and therefore everything will be above light level 8. And therefore, if you do a diagonal grid pattern, you can be way more efficient with torches, because these 3 torches have lit up more of an area, more places are free from mobs than those 10 torches over there, because spacing torches out and being efficient with them is more important than randomly placing and just guessing based on how the light looks. Minecraft doesn't care how light something looks, it cares how light something is on the game's level, and that's what you've got to pay attention to. Next up, we have the fact that all food is not created equally. Not only do some foods heal way more than others, like this cooked beef, for example, which is definitely the name of steak in Minecraft, will heal 4 of your hunger shanks, and therefore that's more than a potato or a carrot, right? But not only will it heal more instantly on your hunger bar, but it also heals a hidden saturation bar, which is really important for, 1, beating Minecraft without doing any hunger, but second of all, it's really important because it means that you can go longer in between food sessions, which means if you're going to do something which which involves you not being able to eat, say raiding a dungeon or, fighting the Ender Dragon, good food like the cooked beef or like the cooked pork chops, sorry friend, these are going to be the foods that are important because even though watermelons are very easy to find, they have a very low saturation value. By the way, if you do want to get yourself a lot of wood because you're making a charcoal farm or because you just think that wood's a swell block to build out of, a fun fact you might not know is that wood needs light levels to grow, but you can actually do really, really, really dense farms if you make sure that every single sapling is affected by a torch in some way. And you can do that with a really strange pattern like you're going to see done in here, but basically you can get a lot of torches in a very efficient space of area by just making sure that every single sapling borders a torch in some way, because that guarantees there's going to be direct light given to it, because one of the downsides of trees is all of the leaves will start to block the sun, which isn't something you want. No one wants to block out the sun. I guess besides supervillains, people with freckles, and whoever invented daylight savings times. Oh wait, I already said supervillains, never mind. Next up here, I want to talk about sugarcane because, pro tip, it's really, really easy to farm. You literally take the top 2 blocks, you plant them down next to water, and then they'll eventually grow 2 more blocks on top, and so on and so forth. People usually like to say it grows faster on sand. This is one of the biggest myths of Minecraft that let's use today's video as an opportunity to dispel. But yeah, if you want lots of sugarcane really fast, you can do it like once every Minecraft hour or something, and you'll end up eventually with this amount. Again, this world was only done on video for like 100 episodes. There's a lot of things incomplete, as you can tell from my house and from that thing over there, but the fact that we have this much sugarcane, and that's without me really trying too much, shows something. Also, this is the predecessor to the insane sugarcane farm. You can see I've always liked sugarcane farms because who knows, how much sugarcane does it take to bake a cake? Is it 1 or is it 1 million? There's only one way to find out, and that's to farm 1 million sugarcane. Also, a pro tip regarding trees, regarding sugarcane, and regarding the ground itself, in modern day Minecraft, these things change as you go from biome to biome. So generally speaking, something that wasn't true necessarily right back then, but has become true since then, is that you don't want to plant your crops on a biome boundary, or they'll start to change color, or maybe you do want to plant them for that reason. But it means that, as you can see, my tree on my house, it's the one tree house, looks like that, whereas the tree on the end of the sugarcane farm looks like that. Maybe you want this in your Minecraft world, maybe you don't, you tell me. You can also farm cactus in the same way, which is done using, as you can see, the exact same method, but there has to be sand underneath. Fun fact, the plural of cactuses, a lot of people think it's cacti. Cacti and cactuses are both acceptable. Except when you say cactuses, people comment down below being like, oh, that's the worst thing. So cactuses, cactuses, cactuses. Wow, correct me in the comments, guys. Leave me a comment. Also engage with the video, whether in a like or a dislike. It helps me out just as much. Wow, look at that. Your anger makes the video more useful. Cactuses, cactuses. If this video gets 1 million views now, it's purely because of that cactuses thing. So thank you guys, appreciate it. So yeah, hopefully this video has helped you in a lot of different ways. I want to show off one last thing, not because I think it's actually useful, but because I still think it's the coolest idea I ever came up with that never really went anywhere, but I made a netherrack pyramid. Why a netherrack pyramid? I don't know. Why such a small netherrack pyramid? I don't know. Again, back then I didn't appreciate scale so much, but then what I had just outside of it was a little piston walkway that you can raise up, because like I said, lava does not affect pistons. It probably should, the piston probably should be lit on fire, but it isn't. That's not how the world works for whatever reason, and therefore you can have a little like a pathway that can raise out of the lava. Previously it's covered in lava, you can't see it, or you can see this apparently, but you can't see a lot of it, whereas when you do that, the pathway goes through the lava and it can appear out of nowhere. You can use sticky pistons, like I said before, and have actual blocks appear out of that, which I think is just amazingly cool. It's a shame I never put anything in here, like 4 bits of glowstone. Again, it looks like it would be a cool treasure area, but I mean, this was a solo Let's Play. I didn't need treasure in any way, but still, pretty darn cool. Oh, also, I think there was meant to be a lever here that was gonna deactivate the things in case I needed to do that. Whatever, there's a lot of fun ideas in this world. I still feel like, this was seeing my first big long-term world, or medium-term world maybe, it's always fun to see because it reminds you that yeah, there's so many ideas you're going to have. Someone's going to try to criticize them, but here's the real 2012 advice. This advice isn't just from 2012 or 2019. It's eternal advice. No matter what someone wants to say about your Minecraft world or about anything else that you love and enjoy, the only thing that matters in this world is that you love and that you enjoy it. The idea that someone else isn't going to approve, or it's not great by someone else's standards, or oh, this YouTuber doesn't recommend it, or that, that's not the important thing. The important thing is that you care and that you want to do something. Because as we all know, Minecraft is the game where no one can tell you what you can and cannot do, and the only way to stop people telling what you can and cannot do is to not listen to them. So yeah, if you want to make something ridiculous, it might not pan out, but that's not the point. The point is that you enjoy it while it pans out. The point is that you believe that it might pan out. You believe that there might be something great there, and yeah, I don't know. I just realized, by the way, this build idea of having like a floating sky biome, which again never came to fruition, is basically what I did in the Nether by making the overworld there. So it might have taken me 7 years, but I did eventually finish something along the lines of this project. And seeing this now makes me want to be like, how about we do this anyway? I mean, I can probably get this much glass a lot easier than I could back then. I don't know. It's a fun idea. I really like this world. I like seeing me from 7 years ago, and I always want to give the advice of like, hey, everyone else thinks they understand the world better than you. They understand the world just as little as you, or just as much as you. Realistically, just as little as you. Because no one understands the world. No one understands what we find value in. All we understand is that Minecraft is love, Minecraft is life. And what more do you need in your life? Or indeed in your love. I don't know, you don't know, but what I do know is I hope you all enjoyed this video. You can like it if you liked it, you can share if you really liked it, leave a comment down below about how you don't like the word cactuses and you prefer the word cacti, you know, for reasons. And also, turn on those notifications if you want to see more videos for my channel whenever a video is uploaded, in case you saw this and you thought, yeah, more of that please, which, I mean, admittedly, probably isn't a huge portion of people, but still, I thought it was cool to go back to this world. I thought it was a great little piece of filler content that I hope you enjoyed, because I'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye.